Mike at it. You know, got the same headphones on. And that's a track. They've been around his neck since the day he walked in. That's a fact. But the thing about it is that give or take, he's listening to different music and he's singing a different tune. And I think that that's what we're talking about the proper use of the will. An example for myself is, I'll be at home and I do some Listerine, I put it in my mouth and squish it around and I spit it out. And I can't tell you how many times this has happened. I spit it out a second time because I feel like, who am I proving it to? I'm in my house by myself. It's almost as if it's a weird kind of a conscience thing, if you've ever done it. If you hold the sobriety as dear as I do, I spit it out that second time as if somebody was watching. That's singing a different tune. And you could fill in the blank with a million different examples about how what I once would have scoffed at, look at those squares getting up and going to work as I'm passing them back into the neighborhood. Like I passed my father after an all-nighter at Norm's. And I'm coming in the neighborhood and he's coming out and he never had to say a word. He just raised his hand as he passed. And he saluted me and I knew I was fucked. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I would go down into my room that I had black plastic stapled over the outside of the windows so the light couldn't come in. Do you feel me? So we're talking about listening to a different tune. We're talking about willpower, which it can get a bad rap here if we pigeonhole the definition of willpower. And then I'm talking about this because it's the proper use of the will was used in the topic. Obviously, he's referring to that. If you pigeonhole into the definition as I'm just going to use my willpower to not drink. Well, we've all proved that's not successful. Even our book talks about we could will these things with all our might, but the needed power wasn't there. But what happens when it is there and we are listening to the new tune? And we're not just hearing it, but we're heeding it. Right? You can hear something, it could go in one ear and out the other, like listening to your parents. They're going, why? You heard it, but you didn't heed it. Heed it means to hear it, then act on it. So there's an amount of energy that it's going to take to stay here. I mean, I wish I could just tell you that you could just pray hard enough and Big G is going to do it all. If you're starving and you lock yourself in a closet, Big G's not going to stick an Oscar Mayer through the keyhole. But hopefully he gives me those new set of directions to listen to that maybe I can see the value of maybe going and getting a job and earning myself enough money to get me that Oscar Mayer. Maybe I'm not scoffing at those people that were going to work when I was coming home. Look at those squares. Look at like at Bill W. on 152 said, those people are stupid, boring, and glum. And I wanted to make fun of those people. Maybe I am one of those people today. Maybe not 100%. But willpower plays a part here in that there's actions I need to take. And I was willing to go to any lengths to get high. I need to go to some lengths to stay sober. If you don't believe me, on 61 in the 12 and 12, it addresses this. And it can sound quite controversial. But since he led the topic on it, I'll throw it out. It talks about no one ought to say that this program takes no willpower. Here is one place it may take all you've got. Now that's the guy that wrote our book. That's the guy that wrote 12 and 12. He said it, but I believe it. I know it's going to take some effort on my part. The real trick is I do the effort and I have to sometimes through gritted teeth give God the credit. That's what he asks us to do. We can just say, oh, I'm just here and I ain't done shit and God's did it all. We all know that's fucking bullshit. Come on. It's bullshit. If it was that easy, we'd be meeting in Legion Field. But if I do the footwork and I'm listening to different music and I'm dancing to a different tune and I'm giving God the credit, that's important. That's an important synergy that must be here. Otherwise, I'm going to start thinking, I did all this. I'm going to put God on the back seat again when I was going to him only in the bad times. I'd make him promises. He'd get me out of it, and then I'd give him the middle finger. But now we do these things when we don't think we need to, for it'll come to our aid when we're in Atlanta, when we lose our fucking cell phone. And what do? We fucking go to 2 meetings? Who said that? A doper? I mean, tell me there's not a transformation. With every excuse, nobody would even know. Not even the GPS in the phone. It's dead. It's at the bottom of the Potomac. But we still do the right thing, just like I was in the bathroom spitting out that second time, because God is watching and I want him to see me do well. Because we have 23 other hours of the day outside this meeting that we have a chance to bring what we sing. So today, I think I've done the appropriate amount of willpower. This is my second meeting. I'm going to go watch some fireworks. I'm going to tell you tomorrow what I did because I remember. And not just that, I see the value in it. And this program has taken nothing from me. It's given me the opportunity for everything. And if you're new, you need to hear that. If you heard nothing else, I've had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, and I'll pass.